Hey everyone, I'm joined by Winton Bernard, the newest Bandit who made his debut in Wednesday night's win over the Auckland Tauatara. Winton, you get in just under the wire here with 3 weeks left in the season. How did you arrive in the ABL?
I snuck in there. Well, obviously I took a plane, but no, we had a 15-hour flight from San Diego over to Sydney. So I was asleep for about 10 of those hours, and then just an hour flight over here. But it's a good experience. I can't wait, to keep playing and finish out the season strong.
Obviously, you want to help give the Bandits their 4th consecutive ABL title, but as someone who's never been to Australia before, what do you hope to accomplish in your time here?
Well, it's going to be a big season for me too. Obviously back in the States, so I want to accomplish my baseball goals, but at the same time I can experience Australia the best I can. I don't know, maybe feed some dolphins or hit a kangaroo or something like that.
Sounds good. I'd like to do both of those things too. Welcome. Thanks for your time.
All right, appreciate it.
Round 8 of the Australian Baseball League season continues tonight at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus as the Brisbane Bandits play host to the Auckland Tauatara. Welcome to the broadcast booth with Australian silver medalist Paul Gonzalez. I'm Eric Bramer. Thanks for joining us this evening. Should be a good ball game between these two teams. The Bandits took care of business last night, winning 9-4 in Game 1. That was a makeup game of a postponement from earlier in the season. Paul Gonzalez, the Bandits were led by Logan Wade, who had 2 homers and 5 runs batted in. It's his second week back on the roster, but as part of a larger argument about the Bandits, the team looks very different than it did at the beginning of the season, hopefully for the better.
No, I agree. It's great to have Logan back, but to have him with the impact he has, hitting 381, 5 RBIs, just 2 home runs, you couldn't ask for anything more from the Bandits management staff. But the Winton Bernard is the big pickup. He gives a different look in left field, but he gives a lot of offensive opportunities. He can run. He uses the whole field, and he's got a bit of power. So I think it's a whole new makeup within this lineup, and it'll be interesting to see how they push to the playoffs.
It is the exact same lineup tonight for David Nielsen's Bandits, save for the starting pitcher, of course. It's Coco Lynn looking to bounce back from a relief outing last round in Sydney that saw him take his first loss of the year. Coco Lynn has been very good when he has been given an opportunity to start. He hasn't gone very deep into the ballgame, however. That's something that his team will need him to do with that doubleheader coming up on Saturday.
No, I agree. I guess the positive for Coco, he's facing a young pitcher in Elliot Johnston. He's 20 years old, and right now he's sitting on a 10.8 ERA. So really good opportunity for the Bandits hitters to hopefully put a lot of pressure on the young pitcher and then give Coco a bit of breathing room early in the ballgame.
Lynn delivered 2 scoreless innings against the Tauatara in Auckland earlier this season. He will face a Auckland lineup that begins with Eric Jenkins in center field, followed by Taylor Snyder at shortstop, Nick Tanalou at third base, Chris Richards at first base, Daniel Lamb Hunt the DH, Max Brown in right field, Bo Bishop catching, Zach Clark in left field, and Sai Yi Xuan at second base. The Tauatara are 9-19 in last place in the division. Bandits are 16-12 after their win last night. They are still 4 games behind first place Sydney in the Northeast. However, they are now tied for the 3rd best record with Melbourne, a tie that they have the tiebreaker on. Those top 3 seeds in the new playoff format are going to be very important as we take a look at the Bandits' defense. Bernard, Campbell, and Dutton across the outfield, Bennett at third, Wade at short, Unruh at second, Sutherland at first, and Danny De La Calle catching Coco Lynn. (27°C this evening at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus. Wind at 19 kilometers per hour coming from the northeast, as usual blowing out to right field in this hitter-friendly venue. Eric Jenkins is the lone lefty in the Tauatara lineup. Last night, Jenkins went 0 for 5, though he did drive in a run with a ground out. First pitch misses upstairs, ball 1 at 6:04 local time. Jenkins on the year batting .225. Lynn delivers, and Jenkins lifts it foul down the left field line, out of play. Lynn will give you a 5-pitch mix: fastball, slider, curve, a change, and a cutter. Last time out against the Blue Sox in Sydney, he came on in the late innings, allowing 2 runs, eventually took the loss though he was not on the mound when the Blue Sox delivered the walk-off. Grounder right back up the middle, past Lynn and into center field. Jenkins has the first hit of the ball game in the first plate appearance of the ball game.
A really good start for Auckland, and really he's their igniter in Jenkins' second-round pick with the Texas Rangers. So a very electric individual, and really this is an opportunity for him to get some more at-bats leading into spring training, which I'm sure he'll break with the club and hopefully try to make a Double-A ball club.
Taylor Snyder bats next. Snyder batting .203 on the season. Last night went 1 for 4 with an RBI single down to their last out in the 9th inning. Before the first pitch, a check of Jenkins at first. He'll steal a base on you if you don't pay attention to him.
I think that the key for Coco today is how quickly can he get into and settle into his rhythm. I like the fact that he's throwing strikes, but the main thing is making sure he works down in the zone.
Bunted in the air foul up the first baseline. Lynn, 32 years old, making his 8th appearance, 5th as a starter. Last start he made was at Melbourne 2 weeks ago. Only threw 39 pitches in 3 1/3, allowing 2 runs on 5 hits. Season high in pitches thrown came on the 9th of December. That was 82 pitches. And if the Bandits can get that much from him here tonight, they will be very pleased. Aggressive lead from Jenkins, and he dives in safely.
And I think that's what David will want. He won at least 5, minimum out of Coco today. Obviously with the 5-game series this weekend with the rain makeup game yesterday. Look, yesterday the bullpen wasn't taxed. It looked like they got their work in. So I think everything really played to Brisbane's favor last night.
Ryan Bollinger went 4 2/3 in his start last night. Ryan Searle an inning and a third, Sam Holland 2, and Justin Erasmus 1. 1-1 the count here to Taylor Snyder. Eric Jenkins at first after a leadoff single. Long wait. Jenkins stays put, and the pitch to Snyder is in the dirt. Last night's ball game saw the Tauatara playing as the home team, despite the game taking place in Brisbane. It was a makeup of a postponement back in round 2 in late November in New Zealand. Before Lynn's 2-1, a check of Jenkins at first. Jenkins leaned towards second, but still manages to dive in. Bandits struck out 14 Auckland batters last night. Hard bunt up the third base line. It rolls foul, and the count is 2-2.
Really interesting to see. We're talking about they've got a young arm on the bump and already bunting in the first inning. So typically you'd see probably later in a ball game from the 5th inning onwards when you get to the business end. So looks like Auckland is content on trying to manufacture runs early. Johnny
Southey filled in as interim manager for the Tuatara last night. Steve Mintz is in town, and he is the acting and permanent manager tonight for the rest of the series. Lynn set. The 2-2. Line drive down the third base line, landing foul. Good to see the tarp rolled up there down the left field line. We had some scattered showers this morning and again this afternoon. Partly cloudy now with the sun setting down the right field line. I think we will play uninterrupted baseball tonight.
Yeah, the ground crew did a brilliant job this morning. They got some light sprinkles and showers this morning, and they were able to get it down early. And the ground's in immaculate condition, so congratulations and acknowledge those guys for their hard work this morning.
Jenkins takes off. The 2-2 is tapped weakly up the third base line. Bennett fields and throws, not in time. Snyder beats out the infield single, and Bennett who started the year as a shortstop, made that play about as well as he could, just not in time to retire Snyder as we take a look at the Suki Bowl replay.
Yeah, good job by Bennett. Come around and good route on the ball and got rid of it on the transfer. But just the hustle down the line, just in time, beat it out. So now they put some pressure at first and second with nobody out here in the first.
Paul Latta had the plate last night. He is at first base on the umpiring crew. James Shields is at third. Tom West, the crew chief, calls balls and strikes behind home plate. Here's Nick Tanalou, the third baseman for the Tauatara. Tanalou went 2 for 5 last night, driving in a pair with a 2-out, 2-run single in the 9th inning. Tanalou batting .261. The first from Lynn, inside, and it hits him. Looked like it got him on the left elbow or forearm area, and the bases are loaded for Auckland with nobody out in the top of the first inning. Suki Bowl replay.
Yeah, get a chance to see the pitch. It looks like just a two-seamer that run in on him, and hopefully he's okay. He's got the elbow guard protecting his left elbow, so he should be okay. He's a catcher, so he's a pretty tough character behind the plate.
Here's the cleanup hitter and first baseman Chris Richards, stepping to the plate with a chance to do some damage.
Nick is playing third.
Bo Bishop gets the plate tonight for the Tauatara. Jenkins at third, Snyder at second, Tanalou at first. First pitch to Richards, a change of speed, gets a swing and a miss. It was the Bandits who jumped out early in the first inning last night. Logan Wade's 3-run home run put them up for good. Tauatara trying to return the favor tonight. 0-1 fouled back on a hop. Infield looking to turn the double play. Lynn trying for a strikeout. He's not a strikeout pitcher. 15 of them in 20 and a third innings. The 0-2 misses inside. Bandits, as you can see, going with the clean home white look. Tauatara wearing their alternate navy tops. We saw kind of an aqua teal jersey last night. 1-2 misses down and in. It's 2-2.
Just looking at Coco right now, he is laboring just as far as finding his command and his control. So be interesting to see how deep David allows him to go. And unfortunately, in the first inning, he's going fairly high in his pitch count.
2-2 coming. Richards fouls at the plate. Next pitch will be number 20 for Lynn. The righty comes set. Richards again fouls it back.
I got a chance. I spoke to a couple of the New Zealand young players yesterday, the Spartans that came out to support their team. They're actually playing in Redcliffe in a friendly there. And Chris actually is one of their development officers within New Zealand. So he is a fan favorite because he works with a lot of young kids. So hence why we saw a lot of support from when he stepped up to the plate.
I had a chance to talk with Chris about that. Pre-game, he said he was very proud of what he's been able to accomplish in New Zealand. Another foul, and he's hanging tough in his first plate appearance tonight.
I think that's what's so special about the league is the connection between, when we talk about our elite level, you know, with when you look at the high performance side of the sport, and this is the apex in the country, and still having that connection with the grassroots programs and really creating heroes for these young players.
Hit on the ground towards third, maybe two. Bennett goes to second, and around the horn, the Bandits get 2 outs on the double play. Scoring from third is Jenkins for the first run of the ball game.
Just on the replay right there, good job by Bennett staying with it. And the most important thing is his feed to second to Unrow. Good feed and a good transfer by Unrow for the double play. So that's a big out for Coco, because all of a sudden now he's taking himself out of a big inning situation. He's conceded the 1 run, but able to allow the ground ball to get 2.
Lone base runner remaining is Taylor Snyder at third base. Daniel Lamb Hunt will bat, right-handed hitting DH for the Tauatara. Drew 3 walks last night, but finished 0 for 2. First pitch, a high fastball, gets a swing and a miss. I erroneously said that Lynn had already thrown 20 pitches. That's incorrect. 17 after the end of that at bat. The 0-1 up high. Called strike, and it's 1-2.
Good location right there, and that's really what you want to see. He's going to be a guy that's not going to overpower you, but he will work the ball up and down and in and out of the zone. And like you said, he'll give you a couple different variations with pitches. So big pitch with 2 outs and a man on third base.
Missing down and in. 2 singles and a hit by pitch for the Tauatara. Lynn takes the sign. The 2-2. Bounced in the dirt, and a nice dig by De La Calle. Count runs full. First base is open. Max Brown waits on deck. Second to last regular season home series for the Bandits. Next week, they'll welcome in the Canberra Cavalry, and they finish the regular season on the road in Geelong. Payoff pitch to Lamb Hunt. Chopped on the left side. Nice pickup by Wade. Long throw, and the dig at first. Sutherland scoops it up, and that's out number 3. Nice play by Wade, and a nice play at first by Sutherland to save the throwing error and another Auckland run. Suki Bowl replay sends us into break. The Auckland Tauatara score 1 run in the top of the first, and the Bandits are coming to bat after this.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits take their turn at bat in the bottom of the first against Elliot Johnston. Johnston making his 6th appearance, 4th start for the Tuatara, is 0-2 with a 10.80 ERA. He's just 20 years old. He's allowed 16 earned runs in 13 1/3 innings pitched, and he will face the exact same lineup for the Bandits that scored 9 runs in last night's ballgame. Here are the Tuatara in the field. Bishop catching, Richards at first, Tsai at second, Tenelu at third, Snyder at short, and left to right across the outfield, it's Clark, Jenkins, and Brown. Bandits lineup goes Unruh, Bernard, Campbell, Bennett, Wade, Lutz, Dutton, Sutherland, and De La Calle. Riley Unruh leads it off. Had a quiet night at the plate last night, finishing 1 for 5 with a single and a walk. Switch hitter takes outside ball 1.
I like the makeup of the lineup of the Bandits this second half. You look at Unruh now will start to see, obviously he's seen quite a few pitches, got more at bats since he's arrived from Arizona. He looks good in the leadoff spot, and now you've got Winton in the 2 slot. And then obviously with Logan back in the lineup, still have Lutzy, TJ. This is a completely different makeup than it was in the first half.
Manager David Nielsen has a few more weapons at his disposal. 3-0 the count to Riley Unruh, batting .195 on the year. Johnston has the occasional issue with command. He's walked 11 batters in 13 1/3 innings. And a 4-pitch walk to Riley Unruh begins his start tonight.
And that'll be the real test for this young right-handed pitcher. You know, obviously he comes into a very hitter-friendly ballpark, but if he can't find command of the zone early in the count, that means he's constantly going to be pitched behind. And you talk about the caliber of hitters in this lineup, they can inflict damage if they're put in those situations.
Here's Winton Bernard, left fielder for the Bandits, who had a pair of hits and a walk in his Bandits debut last night. Five straight balls beginning the game for Elliot Johnston. We talked last night about Winton Bernard's tools on the field. Speed type guy, good defense in the outfield. Just as important to me is the fact that he's right-handed. This is a very lefty-heavy lineup for the Bandits, and he offers a little bit more balance as he chops one foul up the third base line.
No, I agree with you. He gives a bit of balance, but and I also think he's going to give you good plate appearances as he progresses through the series, and it is only his first series since he's landed from the U.S. I think he'll give you good at-bats, and that's exactly what the Bandits need at the top of the order.
Flew in on Monday, re-upped with the Cubs on a minor league deal after splitting last year between AA and AAA in the Chicago system. 1-1, weak grounder towards short, charging is Snyder. He flips to second, and Unruh beats the throw. I was looking towards first because I figured there was no chance that Snyder would try to get the lead runner. We take another look here and we see that Snyder would have had a much easier play at first base. Safe.
And that just comes down to awareness of the base runner, and just didn't respect the speed of Unruh. Unruh, really good job of getting a good secondary, and that slight hesitation on that slow roller allowed him to beat it out. And now the Bandits put pressure on Auckland here in the first with men on first and second.
Should be a fielder's choice for Bernard. Official scorer may give him an infield single, but I think Snyder would have had a play on him if he had gone straight to first. Here's Andrew Campbell, left-handed hitting center fielder for the Bandits. Campbell had a pair of hits, a pair of walks, and a run batted in last night. First pitch swinging, he sends a high fly ball down the left field line. It's foul, and it goes out of play.
And that's what we talk about, you know, it's being able to put pressure on pitchers early in the ball game, particularly in this ballpark, and the dynamics of what Unruh and Winton will now bring. They'll put a lot of not just pressure with the bats, but with their speed, and they'll allow now the big boppers in the lineup an opportunity to drive runs in early in ball games.
The pitch. Campbell takes on the inside corner, a called strike. It's 0-2. Campbell, Bennett, and Wade should each get a chance here with men in scoring position, barring a double play. Johnston ready. The 0-2. Just low. Looked like it had the plate. Bishop framed it to no avail. 1-2 the count.
And we look at Soupy's last 10 games, 39 at-bats, 14 hits, 3 RBIs, 1 home run, hitting at a .359 clip. So really the right man in the lineup for the Bandits to be hitting in this situation.
Batting average up to an even 300 on the season. The 1-2. Missing inside. 2-2. Auckland got 4 innings from their starter in last night's ball game, Stephen Swaggerty. Very young team, inexperienced, and they're actually drawing from the Brisbane area talent pool to put together their roster for this series. 2-2. Inside, 3-2. Unruh began the inning with a walk, and Johnston in danger of offering a free pass to Campbell after getting ahead 0-2.
And that's just the youth in him. He's got a good live arm, but it sometimes is maybe trying to do too much and maybe overthrowing. So now allows Campbell to work himself back into this at bat, 3-2 with nobody out and the man on first and second.
Fastball with a little bit of run for Johnston. Curveball and a change. Payoff pitch to Campbell. A drive to deep right field. It is back and way out of here. For the second straight night, the Bandits get a 3-run homer in the first inning. This time it's Soupy Campbell pulling the trick, and it's 3-1 Bandits. 3-2 pitch, center cut, and Campbell got all of it. Empire Jerky home run. And that's why you have Andrew Campbell batting in the 3 spot.
And we see right there, he got a pitch up in the zone, and Campbell actually just crushed that ball into right field for a 3-run shot. And we talked about, young pitchers is, he worked himself into a good situation, then he worked Campbell back into his at-bat and made a mistake up in the zone, and with one swing of the bat, it's 3-1.
Here's T.J. Bennett. Johnston still looking for the first out of the inning. Bennett batting .275 on the year. Leading the team in home runs with 7. He takes a breaking pitch for a strike. Bennett played his college baseball at Utah. The Utes football team lost to Northwestern in the San Diego Credit Union Holiday Bowl a couple days ago. Haven't had a chance to personally offer my condolences to TJ about that. Big swing and a miss.
There's so many bowls now in the U.S. compared to when I think we had the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, and now they've got the Tostito Bowl. They've got pretty much every bowl they can muster up.
Utah and Northwestern both had good seasons, both ranked going into that game. 1-2, a swing and a miss, and Bennett down on strikes for the first out of the first inning.
Good pitch right there, just elevated fastball, and this shows how good this young man's arm is. And that's what's so good with these opportunities. You see pitch location, just not able to catch up with it. Good hard running fastball away from TJ for out number 1.
Looked like it was about the same height as the one Campbell hit out, but more on the outside corner. The left-handed hitting Bennett couldn't turn around on it. Here's Logan Wade coming off of a 2-homer performance in last night's ballgame, his first 2 home runs of his injury-delayed season. He checks his swing, and the count is 1-0. 2-0, I beg your pardon. Wade, a switch hitter. Both of the homers came from the left side last night. Chopped on the ground towards second. Chest high hop for Tsai, and he throws on to first for out number 2. Now Donald Lutz. Lutz, the big DH, was 0 for 2 with a pair of walks in last night's ball game. Batting average at .158, 3 homers. First pitch misses low, ball 1. That was pitch number 20 for Johnston. Another ball misses down low, and it's 2-0. Three and 0. Wade Dutton waiting on deck. Good crowd again tonight here in Brisbane. Perfect night for baseball. Lutz gets the green light and fouls a pitch straight back. He was on that one.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. And that's, David's giving him the green light and obviously respects his ability to drive the ball out of the ballpark at any count. So particularly with 2 outs, if you get an opportunity to get a free swing, go and let the big man have a hack.
The 3-1. Bounced in the dirt, and Lutz takes a free pass. Said it last night, but even though Lutz has had a slow season thus far, he still gets on base. That's why we saw him batting in the 2 spot for a few weeks in David Nielsen's lineup.
No, I agree. And like I said, I think I don't think anybody reads into batting averages anymore. We look at what a guy can potentially do, and he's a guy that's always a threat each time he steps up to the plate.
Here's Wade Dutton. Dutton gets the start in right field again, with more infielders at his disposal than before. David Nielsen will probably put Dutton in the outfield for the remainder of the season. You saw him getting some starts in the infield. Cold strike begins the at-bat.
Well,
Dutton had 2 hits last night.
Yeah, excuse me. And I just mentioned that the 2 hits, and in the last 10 games, he's hitting at .316. He's 12 for 38 with 1 home run and 6 RBI. So he's had a really strong second half, and really good for the Bandits offense.
Breaking pitch for a strike. It's 0-2. Right back up the middle, and it gets through the second baseman's side. Lutz will check in at second base. That was a hard smash, partially screened by the pitcher, but a play that Sy could have made for the 3rd out. Instead, the inning continues.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think they'll give it an air, but you're right. I think he got shielded by the pitcher on that, and then it got handcuffed him in between. So see how the scorers score that, see if they're hitter friendly or they'll give him an air. We'll wait and see. But once again, another hard struck ball, and gives the Bandits another opportunity to score another run here with 2 outs.
David Sutherland is the 8th man to bat in the inning. Big left-handed hitting first baseman, went 1 for 4 last night. Sent straight back, and Sutherland was trying for the second Brisbane 3-run homer of the inning. Bandits lead 3-1 after Andrew Campbell went deep to right field with 2 men on a few moments ago. They do give Dutton a base hit, at least for now. The pitch. Nope. Sutherland checks his swing, but goes around, according to home plate umpire Tom West. The count is 0-2.
You don't mind a little bit of home cooking, especially at the back end. That hit may come into play.
Johnston hopes it doesn't matter. He's a strike away from escaping the first. The pitch. Up high. Keep in mind, too, that Bernard at bat. Grounder to shallow short. Snyder tried to get the force at second instead of the easy out at first. Unruh beat the throw. The home run followed. And another foul off the bat of Sutherland. Bandits play another 6 o'clock game tomorrow night. And then Saturday it will be a doubleheader. First pitch is at 2:30 and 6 here in Brisbane. Broadcast will be available on ABL TV. Another 1-2. Sutherland checks his swing, and on appeal, he went around. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Elliott Johnston. But Andrew Campbell goes deep for a 3-run home run to put the Bandits in front as we go to the second on Bandits.tv.
Careful out there, champ.
How good is this?
The Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits lead the Auckland Tauatara 3-1 as we go to the top of the second inning. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you for what is technically game 1 of round 8, but in our minds it's game 2 after the makeup game last night. This is the first originally scheduled ball game of this round. Bandits won last night by a score of 9-4, and in doing so improved to 16-12 on the season. That puts them tied for 3rd overall in the league. That's the place to be, Paul Gonzalez. As long as you're in the top 3 and you can avoid that wild card game, a 1-game sudden death playoff, I think the Bandits will feel pretty good.
No, I agree, and I think we talked about it yesterday in yesterday's broadcast, that the way their schedule lined up, really their destiny's in their own hands. I think you look at the matchup today. Yesterday, I think, played to their advantage playing an away game at home. Obviously, they had a tough time in Auckland, and credit to that organization, and they battle at home. And a really good start for the Bandits, both on the mound and offensively as well.
6, 7, and 8 due up for Auckland. Max Brown, Bo Bishop, and Zach Clark. Coco Lynn loaded the bases with no outs in the first inning, but got a double play and a grounder to short to allow only 1 run. Ball 1 misses to Brown. Brown batting .243 on the season. 0 for 2 last night, but he drew a pair of walks. He takes on the inside corner a called strike.
Coco looks a lot sharper here in inning 2. He obviously, with his team putting a quick 3 spot on the board, just looks like he's elevated his game just to a little bit higher level in inning number 2.
From the line, the righty delivers. A little pop-up on the inside of the bat, and Sutherland drops it. It'll be an infield single or an error. Sutherland may have just lost sight of that ball.
Yeah, seeing the replay, so it looks like he hit like almost like a 60-degree wedge, and it looks like he either lost it in the lights and then came up short and wasn't able to get the speedy runner getting down the line. So once again, Auckland puts early pressure on Coco here in the second.
Lynn back to the stretch. Guessing that'll be an error on Sutherland. Here's Bo Bishop, the catcher. Runner goes first pitch. It's a hit and run. A swing and a miss, and the throw down to second, not in time. Unruh swiped the tag down, but Brown slid in. The way Bishop swung at that tells me that that was a hit and run, and a closer play than it initially looked at second base. Nice slide by Brown, moving on the outside of the base.
Yeah, really good job and good jump, and it made it really hard for Delikai to get that ball. Good throw to second base, but unable to get the speedy runner. So now the early threat here in the second with nobody out.
Bo Tawera Bishop, the full name. Pitch misses inside. It's 1-1. That is indeed ruled an error on Sutherland. Lynn with a look towards Brown. The 1-1 pitch. Missing up high.
Really big opportunity for Bo, ideally in the situation. Now he finds himself in a hitting count. If he can find something, he can drive the right side of the field. We saw him early in the piece trying to put the ball down and create some early offense. See if he's able to execute early in the ball game and advance the runner.
Swing and a miss. The count is 2-2. Tauatara in their first season in the Australian Baseball League. ABL expanded from 6 to 8 teams this year to include Auckland and Geelong, Korea. Breaking pitch, got him. Swing and a miss. Bishop down on strikes. First Skyfleet Hino strikeout of the ball game for Coco Lynn. It's the first out in the second.
It's a big pitch by Coco right there, and we talked about if he's able to, and you see the location down and away from Bo and just not able to advance the runner, and it's a big out, particularly with Max stealing the bag early in the inning. It puts a little bit more pressure on the batter here with 1 out.
That was the curveball, and here's Zach Clark, left fielder for Auckland. First pitch swinging is Clark. He sends a high, deep drive to right field. It's gone. And we have a tie ball game. Zach Clark circles the bases on his second home run of the year. And it's 3-3. Tauatara make the Bandits pay for the leadoff error. That'll be 1 unearned run on Lynn's ledger as we take another look at this solid swing to the opposite field.
Yeah, really good approach right there. He got a pitch up in the zone away, and he didn't try to do too much. Just drove the baseball to right field, and a deep shot to right now just ties this ball game here in the second, 3-3.
Ninth place hitter is Sai Yi Xuan. Didn't see Sai in last night's series opener. 24-year-old infielder is 4 for 24 on the season in limited action for a batting average of 167. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled back. Weak dribbler right back to the mound. Some side spin on it, but Lynn fields and throws to retire Sai for the second out of the inning.
It's a weak ground ball, and good job by Coco. Comes up and good fielding, good set and throw. So it turned out that little swinging pop-up that unable to come up with it, Sullivan has actually hurt the Bandits. Now we got a tie ball game here, 3-3. So looks like both these teams came out offensively ready to swing the bat.
Lineup turns over for Eric Jenkins. Jenkins began the ball game with a single up the middle, and he came home to score the first run on the Chris Richards double play. Lynn's 1-0. Missing up high. The 2-0 pitch. 3-0. Two runs here in the second for the Tauatara on Zach Clark's opposite field home run. The 3-0. Jenkins gets the green light and taps it to short. Wade charges, he has to hurry, and the throw to first is not in time. That's why Eric Jenkins is a name to remember in the future. He can beat out routine grounders with ease.
Tell you what, he gets down the line really quickly, and you see why he's a second-round pick with the Texas Rangers. So he can find a way to put more balls in play with the bat. You know, you look at his speed in center field and his ability to range and how he gets down the line. He's definitely a threat at the top of any batting order.
Now Taylor Snyder. Snyder singled his first time up. Jenkins takes off. Grounder to third that eats up Bennett. And everyone will be safe. Now there's nobody at third. And Jenkins slides in safely. Heads up base running from Jenkins, who was off on contact with 2 down. He goes from first to third on what will be an error by the third baseman, T.J. Bennett. Second error of the inning. There are runners at the corners for Nick Tanalou. Tanalou was hit by a pitch on the elbow his first time up. Lynn's first. Breaking ball, flip foul. Tauatara saw their brief lead in the first inning quickly erased. Now they've evened it up. Looking to take another lead here in the second. Check of the runner at first. Snyder dives in safely. Tanalou with a little soft liner to second. Unruh makes the catch for the third out of the second inning. The Tauatara score 2. 2-run homer from Zach Clark, and we have ourselves a brand new ball game. It's 3-3 with the Bandits returning to bat.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
3-3 ball game between the Bandits and the Tauatara as we go to the bottom of the second inning here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. The Bandits batted 8 in the first, and they will send Danny De La Calle, then Riley Unruh and Winton Bernard to the plate against Elliott Johnston in the second. De La Calle takes down and away ball 1. Johnston to the plate, a called strike with a breaking pitch. It's 1-1. De La Calle with a line drive base hit to left to begin the second inning. Third hit of the ball game for the Bandits, and the lineup turns over for Riley Unruh, who drew a 4-pitch walk to start the game and came home to score on Campbell's 3-run homer. Johnston needed 35 pitches to get through his first inning of work. Chopped foul up the first base line. Had it been fair, Richards would have had a play. A couple other games going on across the league tonight. In Adelaide, Geelong Korea is on top of the bite in a pitcher's duel. That's 1-0 in the bottom of the sixth. And in Canberra, the Cavalry lead the first place Blue Sox of Sydney 1-0 in the third. Line drive to left center, too tall for Snyder, and it goes into the gap and all the way to the wall. Rounding third and coming home is De La Calle. He's going to score on an RBI double off the bat of Riley Unruh. Bandits take a 4-3 lead. Paul, the new buzzword in baseball is exit velocity. And even though that one didn't have a launch angle to write home about, it was hit hard enough to skip its way all the way to the left center field wall.
No, I agree. And you and I talked about it briefly in yesterday's broadcast. Is you start seeing the Bandits, as opposed to relying on the long ball, starting to utilize the gaps. Wade Dutton yesterday shot 2 balls in the right center field gap, and an outstanding job of hitting, and that's professionally hitting by Unruh to shoot the ball in the left center, and great hustle by De La Calle to leg it out from first to score the 4th run of the game.
Quinton Bernard reached on a fielder's choice and scored his first time up. He takes up and away ball 1.
And I think that's what we're starting to see, in this second half. Guys aren't trying to do too much, and you have a tendency in smaller ballparks to want to hit the ball 500 feet in a 370-foot ballpark, but it's great to see the guys utilizing the whole field.
The 1-0. Bernard waits on the breaking pitch, sends a dribbler down the third base line. It'll stay fair. Won't be on the season-ending highlight reel for Winton Bernard, but it counts in the box score just the same. An excuse-me swing that just stays fair thanks to the level base paths that the grounds crew manicures before the ball game.
Yeah, I tell you what, Winton may go and shake Cooper Thompson and his grounds crew team. That ball just stayed fair the whole way and held its position. And once again, the Bandits continue to find ways to manufacture and put runners in scoring position, now with the heart of the order at the plate.
Andrew Campbell hit a no-doubt 3-run homer to right field his first time up. 2 more men are on here in the second, with the Bandits suddenly leading 4-3. Bernard takes off for second, and Campbell chops it foul up the first base line.
I like to see that. I guess what the Bandits are seeing, they've got a young starter who's obviously focused right now on the hitter and exposing his youth and trying to advance and take a bag. So good timeout by Bo right here just to settle him down and get him focused and make sure he concentrates, because he's got 3, 4, 5 coming to the plate.
Five hits already for the Bandits. Johnston has recorded 3 outs. The 0-1. Bernard takes off, and he will steal second base without a throw. Pitches a ball, it's 1-1. Suki Bowl replay shows how good of a break that Bernard had. No chance, so why even throw?
Yeah, no chance. And that's why we saw, I think you mentioned yesterday, 25 bags last year. So he knows how to run the bases. A lot of experience, particularly when you play at the higher levels between AA and AAA.
Campbell takes on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Now a base hit to the outfield should score a pair.
Well, the main thing is if Soupy can get something in with the infield playing back, you've got second baseman playing in the back, and you've got first baseman playing back. He's now creeping in. If he can hit something, looks like they're now shifting their defense. But if he can hit something on the right side of the field, he can advance the runner and score a run at the same time.
Campbell chops it to first. Charging is Richards. He tries to barehand it, and now everybody's safe. Munro scores from third. Richards tried to throw home, but he didn't have the ball in his hand. And usually you need that to do the throw. Bandits lead at 5-3 as Campbell reaches base on the little nubber.
A good job by Soupy. And we just talk about quality at bats, and right there, see the at bat right there, just rolled on a breaking ball, but able to advance the runner. And Richardson wanted him to come up with the baseball on the attempt on the barehand. But not only does that score a run, but it advances Winton to third, and now they've got first and third with nobody out.
We'll see how that's ruled. Here's TJ Bennett. Bennett struck out swinging his first time up. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. They're going to give a fielding error to Richards. I believe that means no RBI for Campbell. Bennett takes up high and outside. Johnston set. The pitch. Bennett sends a chopper to second. Sy charges, tags, and can't get off a throw. And now he drops it. Was there any out signal? Third base umpire James Shields says yes, indeed, there was a tag before the ball was dropped. Sy couldn't complete the twin bill as we take a look at the replay here. Another run comes in. You're bordering on runner's interference at that point. Once Campbell's out, he can't really do anything, and he remained active in the play. I don't know if there's any way for him to avoid what happened, but I could see a world in which that is ruled an automatic double play because of runner interference.
Yeah, but no appeal by Mintz or the coaching staff, so obviously they saw that probably more on just the exchange between the two players and then the exchange of trying to get the transfer of the ball to first. So good job by Soupy Campbell to avoid running into the double play to allow the runner to score. Now that makes it 6-3 here in the second inning with the man on first base.
Bernard scores. Bennett at first after an RBI fielder's choice, 4 unassisted. Logan Wade grounded to second his first time up. He takes up high. Still just 1 down in the inning. Get the sense that this may be a high-scoring ball game. Coco Lynn has been given a 3-run lead. We'll see if that changes his performance on the mound. Outside, 2-1. Johnston's pitch, 3-1, a dangerous count to a dangerous hitter with Donald Lutz waiting on deck. 3 in the first, 3 so far here in the second for the Bandits. The 3-1 pitch. Runner takes off, it's ball 4, and the throw to short won't matter at all. Wade draws a walk, Bennett takes second, and Donald Lutz will stand in with a chance to really put a finishing kick on the Tauatara in the second inning. He may not get a chance against Elliot Johnston.
Good timeout right here, and obviously he may make the move, or he might just actually talk to him about selling him down. The main thing right here is knowing that it's only in the second inning. Still got more games in this series, with it being an extended series with the rain makeup game, so he might just be trying to settle him back down, help him extend his outing tonight.
John Holscomb, the pitching coach for the Tauatara.
Might have been Mintz actually went out and had a little word with him.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mintz's background in pitching the big leagues, so just probably best guy to go in there and just trying to resettle him back down, reassure him that you got good defense behind him and his ball club will persevere and chip away at that lead.
52 pitches for Johnston, only 28 for strikes, and only 4 outs recorded. His defense hasn't helped. Here's Lutz, who drew a walk his first time up. Just missing the outside corner, ball 1. Bennett at second, Wade at first. 3 runs already in for the Bandits, who lead at 6-3. Ball 1 chant from the Outlaws down the third base line. Lutz swings for the fences. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Lutz takes up and away. 2-1 the count. This has not been a cleanly played ball game by either team. Auckland has 3 runs on 4 hits. They've committed 1 error. Brisbane, with 6 runs on 5 hits, they've committed 2 errors. The 2-1. 3-1. Wade Dutton on deck. Wade Dutton, not a guy you want to see with the bases loaded. Donald Lutz, not the type of guy you want to see in the box with a 3-1 count. The pitch. Lutz with a drive to right field. That'll fall. Rounding third and coming home is Bennett. And all the way to third base is Logan Wade. Donald Lutz keeps the train rolling with an RBI single. It's now 7-3 Brisbane.
Yeah, really good job by Lutz right there. He got into a hitting count and got a pitch up in the zone and shoots the ball into right field. And it's another big RBI for the Bandits, now making it 7-3 here in the second inning. But I think you and I talked about earlier in the piece, it really started with Unruh shooting the ball into left center field and really opening up this offense and starting to see a more, a bigger game approach plan by the Bandits offense in the second half.
Bandits batted 8 in the first. Wade Dutton, the 8th man to bat here in the second. He singled his first time up. Wade at third, Lutz at first. Johnston on the mound for now. First to Dutton, down and in, ball 1. Gons, it's a family affair here tonight. Got your son in the booth with you.
Yeah, and he's wearing his TCU Horned Frog colors, which is good to see.
They win their bowl game?
You know what? I haven't even checked, to be honest with you. So it's been a busy morning. We attended the Kinshi.
Ooh. High fly, routine to center. Jenkins sets up for a throw. Wade sets up for a tag. Wade comes home and he will score The 8th run of the ball game for the Bandits, who now lead it 8-3. Dutton gets the job done, sending a fly ball deep enough to bring home another on a sac fly.
Yeah, another good at bat, and we just talk about manufacturing and just reading the situation. Got to pitch up in the zone, didn't do too much, able to get the ball in the air, and that now generates the 8th run of the game for the Bandits, and we're only in the 2nd inning.
David Sutherland struck out swinging his first time. He's the 9th man to bat here. Lutz still at first. Up and away, ball 1. I believe 2 of these runs in the 2nd inning will be unearned, as well as any additional runs that score from here on out. Error by the first baseman Richards allowed Andrew Campbell to reach early. Deep drive to right field. No doubt. Way over everything. Over the house. David Sutherland goes way out of here. It's 10-3 Brisbane. No exaggeration, we did not see where that ball landed.
I tell you what, that ball was absolutely crushed, and acknowledgement to Bandits tonight. They've manufactured runs. He got a pitch middle in, and I tell you what, he pulled his hands inside and squared that ball up, and the ball, you're right, I think it went over the house, so that's one of the longest home runs we've seen this year.
And that'll be it for Elliot Johnston, not the start that he wanted. He leaves with the Bandits up 10-3. Back after this Alderley Hire pitching change on Bandits.tv.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Yuki Harada comes in for the Tauatara in an Alderley Hire pitching change. The 24-year-old righty is 1-1 with an 8.16 ERA. This will be his 13th appearance, all of them in relief. He struck out 13 batters in 14 1/3 innings, but he's also allowed 13 runs on 18 hits at a .295 batting average for his opponents. 9 men have already batted for the Bandits in the 2nd inning. They've scored 7 runs, and Danny De La Calle, who started things off with a single, will take his 2nd turn at bat in the inning.
And we talked about it earlier before the series started, and I thought this is a fantastic weekend for the Bandits, particularly offensively, because it allows you, and no disrespect to Tauatara's pitching staff, it allows you to, particularly with some of the younger guys, work on some things and build some mental confidence at the plate. And if they can continue to swing the bats of this to their capability, hopefully they can carry that momentum into that playoff run.
De La Calle with a line drive snagged by the first baseman Richards. One pitch ends the 2nd inning. But the Bandits have a great 2nd inning. They score 7 runs, and they knock the Tauatara starter out of the ball game. We go on to the 3rd here in Brisbane. Bandits lead at 10-3.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Current go, Brisbane Bandits lead the Auckland Tauatara 10-3 as we go to the top of the third inning. Coco Lynn has his easiest chance at a win as he will have this entire season. He just needs 9 more outs. The pitch count may be an issue for him. He hasn't had the smoothest first 2 innings, allowing 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 4 hits. He's thrown 44 pitches, 27 for strikes, and he faces 4, 5, and 6 in the Tauatara batting lineup, beginning with Chris Richards.
I think the thing is, Jim Bennett may have had a quick word with him prior. He's just focus on throwing strikes, force these guys to swing the bat, put the pressure on their offense, and utilize that 7-run lead.
He's gotten 2 strikes over to begin the at-bat to Richards. Runs scored in Richards' first at-bat, but it was a 5-4-3 double play, so he didn't get credit for a run batted in. Grounder to short. Wade double clutches and throws off target. Richards will beat it out.
Tough play to Logan's right and able to come up with it. You see him right here. Comes up with it clean, but that transfer right there and that double pump really caused him to force the throw. And not able to get the speedy runner getting down the line. So once again, Tauatara have a leadoff man on base.
Third time in as many innings they have done that, and here's Daniel Lamb Hunt 0 for 1 with a grounder to short. Book is closed on Elliott Johnston. 1 2/3 innings for the righty. Broken bat roller to the left side. Bennett goes to second. There's 1 out, and there's 2. Leadoff base runner is quickly erased as we take a look at the Suki Bowl replay.
Yeah, really good job. Wasn't hit hard, broken bat. TJ made a good job. We'll talk about the feed to second. That's the most important out, and a really good turn by Unrow for the double play. So that's exactly what Coco needed in this situation, was minimize his pitch count. First 2 innings were high pitch count, so if he can get his efficiencies down, hopefully he can work himself into a 5th inning and try to work himself into a win.
Max Brown, first pitch swinging, hard grounder to short. Wade picks it up and throws to retire the Tauatara right fielder. After the leadoff base runner, the Tauatara back just 3. And Coco Lynn puts up his first 0 on the scoreboard. To the bottom of the third we go. Brisbane up big, 10-3.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Brisbane Bandits lead the Auckland Tauatara 10-3 as we go to the bottom of the third inning at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you for Game 2 of Round 8 between the second-place team and the last-place team, the Northeast Division of the ABL. Bandits scored 3 runs in the first, 7 in the second, and they will send the top of their order up in the third against Yuki Harada, who needed only 1 pitch to get the final out of the second inning. Unruh, Bernard, and Campbell for the Bandits. Unruh is 1 for 1 with a walk, an RBI double, and 2 runs scored. Unruh's double was slashed to left center field. He takes outside ball 1 here in his third plate appearance. Batting average slowly climbing for Unruh as he takes outside 2-0.
And that's usually the way. I mean, in pro ball, they really don't start really looking at batting average until you get over the 100 at-bat marks. So obviously here it's shorter season, not quickly, but he's only sitting at 82 at-bats, but you're starting to see him look more comfortable in the batter's box. Whenever I see a lefty or righty shooting the ball into the opposite field, that means they're staying through the ball longer, and to me, they have a better approach at the plate. His last at-bat shows me he's now starting to lock in as a hitter.
Batting average now at 205. Green light on 3-0. He spins it foul to the left side.
And it's interesting when players start using the left center field, not constantly trying to hook the ball, means they trust their hands a little bit more, and he just looks, his body language in the plate looks a lot more confident.
He's got some gum in right now, chomping on that for the 3-1. Check swing foul.
Tell you what, that might come back fair.
Crazier things have happened. 3-2 now the count.
I had I took my youngest son down to the field after game 1 victory, and Lisa Nori had the big bubble gum in the right corner over there next to, and there's about 3,000 pieces of super bubble in there, and my son for the first time saw it and didn't realize it was like heaven in a bowl.
Unruh draws a walk, his second of the ball game to begin the third inning.
I think we got home and there was about 23 pieces of super bubble gum in his pocket of his shorts. He said he was gonna.
That'll last him. Just make sure he brushes his teeth before bed.
That's the key with him.
Winton Bernard has reached base both times, once on a fielder's choice, once on a single. Stole his first base in the second, and he scored a pair of runs. First pitch misses wide, ball 1. The Tauatara can win a ball game on any given night. They've won 9 ball games in 28 tries so far this year. But you look at their roster, and the youth and inexperience is really showing tonight. They had a 20-year-old starting the ball game. Now they've got Harada coming on as the first man out of the pen. Harada 24 years old, but you look at the numbers, and the Bandits would have someone in this situation who would have a better chance to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, and look, that's why I said it really works to the Bandits' advantage, particularly in the playoff push. Anytime you can have at-bats like this where maybe you don't feel as much pressure, it allows you to ease yourself back in, and that's what you really want to have, is offensive momentum going into a playoff run.
2-2 the count after a foul. Harada's 2-2. Bernard swings and misses. Foul tip into the mitt. Strikeout for out number 1 here in the third inning. Johnston struck out 2. It's number 1 for Harada as we take another look. It's almost like Bernard was expecting the breaking pitch and then the fastball zoomed by him.
And that's what it is. I mean, one thing people forget, no matter how much experience you have and what level you play, you're always facing a guy for the first time, so you really don't have a book on the individual, so everything is still making adjustments, particularly early in the season.
Andrew Campbell hit a 3-run homer in the first inning, reached on an error in the second. 0-1, a high fly ball into right center field. Going back is the right fielder Brown. And the catch is made just on the warning track. You never know in this ballpark, and even though that one would have been routine in many other stadiums, it almost left the yard.
Yeah, ball had a lot of carry. Wind is still blowing out slightly to right center, but it is a short alley in that plane. But good job by Max running that ball down for out number 2.
TJ Bennett is 0 for 2. And he did drive in a run on a fielder's choice his last time up. Bennett chases a pitch in the dirt. It kicks away from Bishop, and Unruh will jog down to second on the wild pitch. Tauatara trying to put up their first 0 of the ball game. They allowed 3 in the first, 7 in the second. The 0-1. 1-1.
Speaking of zeros, I'm just looking at top of the 5th inning between the Sydney and Canberra. And Canberra lead that ball game in the top of the 5th, 2-0.
We will be doing a lot of scoreboard watching. Line drive on a hop. Nice pickup by Sy. Turning away from the infield, and he throws on to first to retire Bennett and the Bandits in the 3rd. Will not be a memorable night likely for the Tauatara. That's a nice play that you can bookmark and look back on in the off-season. We will come back to One Hub Stadium powered by Optus after this. Brisbane on top 10-3.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Grounds crew doing a great job as always here in Brisbane. Afternoon showers no matter. Cooper bringing up the rear there. Paul and Eric with you. Thanks for joining us tonight. The Bandits looking for their 2nd consecutive victory, and they are up big 10-3 as we go to the 4th inning at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus. Paul Gonzalez, this is exactly the type of baseball that the Bandits would hope to play against a last place team. They won 9-4 last night, and now they've given their starter Coco Lynn a big lead to work with in the early going.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. And like I said, yesterday we got a chance to see Bollinger in the start. He's starting to build up his pitch count, and I think it plays really well with 2 more series after this one before they go into playoff round. So I think the way everything's lining up, and I always look at playoff baseball, it's who's playing with momentum going into the back end of the business end of the season.
Bottom 3rd of the Tauatara lineup will face Coco Lynn, Bo Bishop, Zach Clark, and Cy Yi Xuan. 0-1 the count to Bishop, who struck out swinging his first time up. That strikeout is the lone punch-out for Lynn so far tonight. The righty has thrown 49 pitches, 32 for strikes.
And I think the real difference is he's not going to be a swing and miss guy. He's going to be a guy that really needs to put pressure on the offense and working the ball down in the zone and working ahead in the count, and then allows him to work on his secondary pitches. And tonight he's just fallen behind a little bit early in the ball game, but really settled in the 3rd.
He challenges Bishop with a high fastball that's fouled straight back. The count is 1-2. Lynn from the wide. Chopped foul into the Auckland dugout down the 3rd base line. Tauatara have gotten the leadoff man on in each of the first 3 innings. In the third, it was an error by the shortstop Wade that was quickly erased on a 5-4-3 double play. Lynn winds and deals. Hard ground ball to third, deflecting off the glove of Bennett. Wade picks it up and throws on to first. It's in the dirt and it gets by Sutherland. Bishop will reach. Suki Bowl replay as we take another look. Bennett had a chance to make the play. And then Wade had a chance with an on-target throw. Sutherland could have bailed him out. That's 3 miscues for the Bandits in one play. The Tauatara have another leadoff man on, this time to start the 4th.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, and with the exception of the 7 hits and 10 runs defensively, the Bandits have now committed their 3rd fielding error. So they've had a rough trot on the field today, but which has really forced Coco to work harder than what he's probably wanting to in tonight's ball game.
Zach Clark hit a 2-run homer to the opposite field his first time up. At the time, that made it a 3-3 ball game. The Bandits, right afterwards, scored 7 runs in the 2nd inning. First pitch, right down the middle, hitting the target of De La Calle, strike 1.
And you look at, I think each of the innings, Coco's actually had a man on first base, so he continued to put a lot of pressure, and he's been able to get the ground balls and the pop-ups, but unfortunately the Bandits have committed a few errors behind him tonight, but they've also made some exceptional double plays to keep him out of big innings.
Count is now 0-2. We just received word that Bishop will reach on an error by the shortstop Wade. So it's not on Bennett, the third baseman, for initially booting the grounder. It's the throwing error on Wade, allowing the Tauatara catcher to reach base. 0-2. Chopped off the front foot of Zach Clark.
That's a tough one. You ever seen that one?
You never know what you're going to see here.
That's a new one for me. I've never seen where it comes off the heel of the third baseman and then your shortstop picks you up and fires it across, and I still think it was going to be bang bang regardless, and he gets awarded the error. So I think TJ owes one to Wade.
It'll be the 2nd error of the ball game for Logan Wade. Another 0-2 in the dirt. De La Calle smothers it. Bandits scored 3 in the first on a 3-run homer off the bat of Andrew Campbell. 7 more in the second on 5 hits. David Sutherland with a 2-run homer. Riley Unruh an RBI double. Tauatara got 1 in the first and 2 more in the second. They'll need a lot more to get back in this ball game as the 1-2 is lifted foul out of play. Ricocheting off the light tower and back into the grandstand. That fan was heads up. He made the play. Once again, a healthy crowd here at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus. Expecting near sellouts or sellouts the next 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. And if you haven't gotten out, you're running out of chances in the regular season. This weekend and next weekend will be the final 2 home rounds for the Bandits before the playoffs. Check swing, and on appeal, Clark held up. The count is 2-2.
Yeah, we had a really good crowd last night. Obviously, we mentioned both the Goodwill Series. There was a U.S. team that was touring in from the U.S. playing our stateside before they prepare for Nationals in Sydney next week. And then we also had the New Zealand side.
2-2 chop to short. Wade to second on to first, and not in time for the double play, but Bishop retired at second on the force. 1 out, and that'll bring up Sai Yi Shuang.
See the replay right there, and another good feed to Unruh and a good conversion and good transition by him, but unable to get the speedy runner getting down the line. But once again, a good job by Coco. He's kept his composure and able to induce the ground ball and force an opportunity for a double play.
Wade had to wait back on the hop, and that saved the Tauatara from their 2nd double play in as many innings. Here's Sai, who tapped back to the pitcher his first time up. He takes on the inside corner, a called strike.
And that's probably one of the, if you had to find an early in the ball game, the negative point is that for this ball club to concede and to challenge the 4th Claxton Shield, they're going to have to make those routine plays behind their pitching, particularly in playoff situations.
Another chance for the twin killing. 4-6-3, the double play. Tauatara get another leadoff man on, but Coco Lim pitches around it, getting an inning-ending double play. Unrow to Wade to Sutherland. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning here in Brisbane. The Bandits lead 10-3.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
China Airlines got the Bandits to New Zealand earlier in the season. Fitting that they would adorn our first base line on this homestand as we welcome the Tauatara to Brisbane. Bandits lead at 10-3, and this is truly an international ball club and increasingly an international league in the ABL. Paul Gonzalez, I know you are heavily involved on the business side of things, and that's one reason why fans can be optimistic about the future of this league.
What is, and I think you mentioned earlier in the piece yesterday with the early reach numbers as far as into the Korean market, with the new franchise out of Geelong, and you're over 500,000 viewers to date. And last year the numbers were outstanding with the franchise here, over 1.5 million viewers, and a large majority coming from the Asian market. So it's really the future of the commercial growth of the game, and there's huge opportunities, potential to further increase that exposure.
5, 6, and 7 due up for the Bandits, beginning with Logan Wade, who was 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored.
I think the exciting part is you're starting to see the diversity within the Asian groups. You've got Taiwan, China, you've got Korea, and Japan, and it really opens up opportunities, and particularly when there's baseball starving individuals out there, particularly in the winter months.
1-1 the count. And I think as more and more American players, or at least players in affiliated baseball, hear from word of mouth how fun this league can be, they're going to want to come over here too.
Well, there's a lot of partnerships already with clubs. Obviously, Brisbane had a long-standing partnership with the Tampa organization, and now they're in Perth, and Perth has done a fantastic job of hosting those athletes. And every year, Tampa puts a great product on the field as far as with the talent that they bring out to Australia.
Wade fan for out number 1 in the 4th inning, second strikeout for Harada.
But it's really great for me to see the diversity, but also the continued development. And we're not talking about just players that come out and they have experience. We've seen them. Reese Hoskins from Philadelphia Phillies has come. Didi Gregorius has come. Donald Lutz, another one with Cincinnati. So we're seeing guys not only come into the league but progress to the major league level.
Lutz takes low and away ball 1. The Bandits' DH is 1 for 1 with a walk, a single, an RBI, and a run scored. 1-0, hard on the ground to first. Richards fields and takes it to the base for the second out. Very quietly, Harada has done exactly what his team has asked of him. Though the ERA is up in the 8s, he has now pitched 2 full innings, getting the final out of the second, all 3 in the 3rd, and 2 here in the 4th. No hits, just a walk allowed.
No, he's done a brilliant job since he's come in. Just kept the ball down in the strike zone and really not trying to do too much, and a lot of movement on his pitches. So if you look at late movement, late action, so just enough to keep these Bandits hitters off balance.
Dutton takes a breaking pitch on the inside corner for a strike. The Bandits' right fielder is 1 for 1. Single and an RBI sac fly. Nice play at third by Tanelu, and he throws across the diamond to retire Dutton. That is an outstanding play by Nick Tanelu for the third out of the 4th inning. One more look on the Suki Bowl replay. 1, 2, 3 go the Bandits in the 4th inning. Harada has saved his team, and we go to the 5th. Bandits still lead at 10-3.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
The sun has set, and we are into the evening here in Brisbane. Bandits lead the Tauatara of Auckland 10-3 going to the top of the 5th inning. Coco Lynn needs 3 more outs to qualify for the win. Last night's starter for the Bandits, Ryan Bollinger, lasted 4 2/3, and there is some stirring in the Bandits bullpen. You'd have to think that David Nielsen, not for ego reasons, but for strategic bullpen saving reasons, will try and use Lynn as long as he can tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if Lynn can get this leadoff hitter, which Jenkins is a tough leadoff hitter, he's done a brilliant job tonight. He's had to probably work harder than he wanted to, so his pitch count maybe a little bit higher just through some errant fielding today by the Bandits, but he's actually pitched very, very effectively throughout this ball game.
Jenkins has 2 of his team's 4 hits, a pair of singles, and he takes a called strike to begin his 3rd at bat. 4 hits for the Tauatara, but 4 errors for the Bandits in the field. Through 4 innings, that's not exactly what you'd like to see. Jenkins fouls it straight back. It's 0-2.
And I think that's the one thing David's always been so great at as a manager, and obviously as a big league catcher, is not overtaxing the arms, and obviously respecting the fact that he still represents an organization in Taiwan, so he knows he doesn't want to send him back damaged, and he's very, very conscious of making sure he keeps the pitch counts within their means.
Hard on the ground to short. Wade fields and throws, retiring Jenkins for the first time tonight. Out number 1 in the 5th inning.
And that's exactly what Coco wanted right there here in the 5th. He induced his ground ball, and a good job by Logan. You see him charging that ball and really taking steps away from Jenkins, who's a plus runner down the line, and an easy throw to first for out number 1.
Here's Taylor Snyder. Snyder has reached both times, in the first on a single, in the second on an error by the 3rd baseman Bennett. We've settled into a little bit of a groove here. All 13 runs in the ball game were scored in the first 2 frames. Nothing in the 3rd or 4th for either team. The 1-0. Check swing, foul back. We did look it up, and I don't know if you should be ashamed that you didn't know what your alma mater did in the bowl game, but they beat Kansas
I am ashamed.
in a defensive slugfest. 10-7 was the final?
10-7 against California.
Deep drive to left field. Bernard going back. He's got room, and he makes the catch for the 2nd out. I believe they beat Kansas, did they not? Or
No,
was it California?
California, Cal Burke. So they beat Kansas in game 1 when we were.
That's what it was.
Back. So, and that franchise at TCU's it's really turned itself around, both on the gridiron football field and baseball field, and I was able to visit 2 Easters ago and just to reconnect with the university, and it's amazing how much it's transformed since I left in '90.
Here's Nick Tanalou, who made a great defensive play in the bottom of the 4th inning. At the plate, he's 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a line out to the second baseman. 1-0 the count. On the ground to short. Wade charges, throws. It's a 1-2-3 5th inning for Coco Lynn. He's in line for his second victory of the season, and who knows, he may not even be done tonight. One more look at the play made by Wade on the Suki Bowl replay. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Bandits up 10-3.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you,
Archer! Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
The Curring Cove Brisbane Bandits are looking to go 2-0 on this round 8 homestand. They'll be back home again for round 9 as they take on the Canberra Cavalry in a rematch of last year's championship. Look at that handheld camera. Reese doing a great job as always, getting up close and personal with the 3-time defending champions.
Speaking of Canberra, on that ball club is Cam Warner, is actually an ex-Horned Frog as well, so now representing the Detroit Tigers, so we'll get a chance to see him in his return back to Brisbane.
David Sutherland hit a long home run his last time up. He's 1 for 2 with a pair of runs batted in total. Defensive change for the Tuatara. Chris Richards out. And Guiyan Shu comes on at first base. If it's a 1-for-1 switch, he will lead off the top of the 6th inning. Elsewhere around the scoreboard in the ABL, Adelaide has scored 4 in the bottom of the 7th to take a 5-1 lead over Geelong Korea. That one now in the 8th. And in Canberra, 2-0, the Cavalry leading the Sydney Blue Sox in the 6th inning. Sutherland fouls it back our way off the screen. 1-2 the count. Yuki Harada on 1-2, fouled straight back.
Harada's actually thrown the ball extremely well since he's entered the ball game, and really just being able to keep these Bandits hitters off balance and really not trying to do too much, but everything is down in the zone, and he's very, very effective with both pitches tonight.
Another 1-2 coming to Sutherland. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout for Harada. Out number 1 in the 5th. Suki Bowl replay. Another look at the strikeout. Just challenged Sutherland with a high fastball, and David couldn't catch up.
The main thing you see right there is everything's got movement, so two-seamer really running in and away from lefties, obviously on the righty's hands, and So everything's got a lot of movement, so nothing really comes out of his hand straight.
Danny De La Calle is 1 for 2 with a single and a line out. He stands in with an 0-1 count. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2. Harada delivers, and De La Calle fouls at the plate. Three more games in this series spread over the next 2 days. 6 o'clock start tomorrow on Friday, and a doubleheader on Saturday, 2:30 and 6 local time. The 0-2. Spoiled again by De La Calle. Looks like Justin Erasmus is warming in the Bandits bullpen.
The way he's heating up, looks like David may make a change, so he is heating up fairly quickly there in the bullpen with 1 out.
Oh, 2. Another high fastball, another swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Harada. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the 5th inning, and the lineup turns over for Riley Unroe. High cheese. Too fast for the swing of De La Calle. Looks like Chris Richards is still in the ball game. He moves from 1st to 3rd, so Nick Tanalou is out. Tanalou made the final out of the 5th. Richards moves from 1st to 3rd, and Zhu takes over at 1st. Big swing and a miss from Unroe. Unroe is 1 for 1 with an RBI double and a pair of walks. Unroe swings and misses. It's 1-2. The 1-2 coming from Harada. Inside, Unroe turns away.
You and I in the break were talking about Atlanta, and obviously this is where Unroe will end up next year, and we talk about the impact player and center field, former Melbourne Aces player, and obviously Rookie of the Year last year with 26 home runs, so it'll be interesting to see how he continues to progress in his playing career.
Ronald Acuna Jr., one of the budding stars in the game. Swing and a miss, and Yuki Harada strikes out the side in the 5th inning. How about Harada? 3 1/3 scoreless after the Bandits put up 10 on the Auckland starter. We go to the 6th inning. Brisbane still up 10-3.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Back at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Current Cove Brisbane Bandits lead the Auckland Tauatara 10-3, and Coco Lynn's day is done. Justin Erasmus enters in an Alderley higher pitching change. Lynn went 5 innings, allowing 3 runs, 2 earned on 4 hits. He did not walk a batter. He struck out 1, and he leaves in line for his 2nd win of the season. We saw Erasmus last night, and he labored in the 9th inning, allowing 3 runs. The 28-year-old out of Johannesburg, South Africa, has had an up-and-down season, mostly good outings, but a couple bad ones. As a result, a 1-1 record and a 7.13 ERA. He will face 4, 5, and 6 in the Tauatara lineup, beginning with Chris Richards. Richards swings and misses at the first offering.
I agree. Coco had a brilliant outing tonight. He did labor, but really through the forced errors tonight, defense wasn't as sharp as it has been in the past, but he induced a lot of ground balls, able to get some double plays and keep himself out of big innings.
Big swing and a miss. The count is 0-2. Richards 0 for 2 at the plate, wrapped into a double play in the first, and reached on an error by the shortstop Wade in the third. He's dispatched quickly here on strikes. Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Justin Erasmus after Lynn struck out only 1 over 5 innings. Erasmus gets his first on his first batter. Suki Bowl replay. Nothing too tough with a 7-run lead. Throw a fastball belt high and challenge the Tauatara to hit it. Here's Daniel Lamb Hunt, 0 for 2. He hit into a double play. Bandits have actually turned 3 double plays so far today. Breaking pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. Closer Matt Timms had to warm up last night, but he did not get in the ball game. Bandits will feel pretty good about their bullpen if Timms can go through the first 2 games of this series without throwing a pitch off the game mound. Grounded to third. Bennett fields and throws. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th inning. A lot of opportunities for the Bandits infield tonight. As a result, a few errors, but good to see a lot of balls on the ground in this hitter-friendly ballpark. The more you can do that, the better the pitching is going to look.
No, I agree, and that's why I think what's kept Coco out of the big innings and out of threats. He's able to get the ground ball, and his defense has done a good job of turning some double plays, and another good play by TJ at third.
Max Brown is 0 for 2. He reached on an error by the first baseman Sutherland his first time up, stole second, and came home to score on Zach Clark's home run. He takes a strike. It's 0-1 here. Shack's swing. It's a ball, and the count is 1-1. Got another change. Hopefully you've been keeping score in pencil at home. Nick Tanalou is still in the ball game as the third place hitter. It was Sai Schwan who left the ball game. 1-2 the count. Sai batted in the 9 spot, and he is the one being replaced by Guiyan Shu. Tanalou still in the 3 hole, but Tanalou now plays at second base. We'll see that reflected in the bottom half of the inning. 1-2 to Brown. Up and away. 2-2. His name is Justin, but his teammates call him Bobby. You can hear that on the crowd mic. To explain why would probably not be worth the time. Breaking pitch down and away, the count runs full. Do you know why?
It is a long story. We can. He also is famous for his road bum bag that he still actually travels with his bum bag everywhere he goes as well. So we're actually talking about maybe doing a merch item as a Bobby bum bag.
3-2. Hit foul. The no errors equipment bags are now in stock in the Bandits Pro Shop.
Yeah, they're sharp. I think I'm going to purchase one as a travel bag when I go on the road. I haven't been on the road this year, so it's actually been nice to spend some time with the family. But they are a fantastic item that are now available in the merch store.
3-2. Another foul. Brown hangs tough. Another 3-2 coming from Erasmus to Brown. Down and away, and Brown coaxes a 2-out walk. The inning continues for Bo Bishop, who is 0 for 2. He reached on one of the 4 Bandits' errors his last time up. Adelaide Bite have added 4 more in the 8th inning. They lead Geelong Korea 9-1. We've seen that play out time and time again. Looking at the scoreboard this season, Geelong Korea starts strong, but then once they get into the depths of their bullpen, they cough up most of the leads that they've had.
And that's why I think that's who Brisbane will finish up with on the road. So I think it'll be a really good opportunity for David to work on how he wants to set up his rotation for the playoffs, but also give guys some at-bats in lead up to the playoffs and really use that as a springboard and create some momentum to get that offensive fire and obviously get his bullpen and his rotation set up as well.
The 0-2 from Erasmus. Driven in the air, deep to right center field, and Campbell tracks it down just shy of the warning track. Hit well by Bishop, but not well enough. Erasmus puts up a 0 in the top of the 6th inning. We go to the bottom half with Brisbane up 10-3.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Brisbane Bandits are up big 10-3 over the Auckland Tauatara as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning at One Hump Stadium, powered by Optus. Paul and Eric with you. Thanks again for joining us tonight for Game 2 of Round 8. Bandits play their next 3 rounds to end the regular season. 2 at home, 1 on the road, 2 last-place teams, and a third-place team. They look well on their way to starting that stretch 2-0, exactly what they need to do.
Yeah, I agree. And we've mentioned a few times, I mean, these games are important, but I think they're also build up that momentum going into the playoff. Bandits have set their titles, their sights on winning the title for the 4th consecutive time, and I think the way the schedule plays out plays to their advantage.
Yuki Harada delivered 3 1/3 innings of hitless relief for the Tauatara after the starter Elliot Johnston allowed 10 runs, 7 earned in an inning and 2/3. He departs with a nearly spotless line, just 1 walk and 5 strikeouts for the lefty. And Nathan Crawford will come on to face 2, 3, and 4 in the Bandits' order. Crawford, 32 years old, out of Brisbane, went to Runcorn State, and he will face Bernard, Campbell, and Bennett in the bottom of the 6th inning. Winton Bernard is 1 for 3 tonight. Singled and scored in the second. Also scored after a fielder's choice in the first. Crawford, a tall drink of water, 198 centimeters. He delivers high and tight underneath the elbows of Bernard, ball one. Bernard just arrived in Australia today. On Monday. Less than a week ago. 1-1 the count. Talked about the things we wanted to accomplish, both of us Americans coming over here. He has less time than I have had, but he wants to do the touristy stuff as well. 2-1 the count. San Diego native. Doesn't have the weather to adjust to. It's always gorgeous in San Diego.
Yeah, I agree. I'd spent some time in San Diego when I was with the Padres organization, and probably as close to Gold Coast as you're going to get. Beautiful, beautiful city, and obviously not a hard transition from him from San Diego to here.
2-2 the count.
Whereas you, on the other hand, come from sunny Minnesota.
Yeah. About 48 hours before I came out here, I was on the roof of a press box announcing a state tournament football game below freezing temperatures. Don't miss that. Wow. Line drive, too tall for the second baseman, Tanalou, into right center field. Bernard wants to stretch it into a double, and the throw from center field is on target to retire Winton Bernard. He gets a single, but Jenkins, with a throw right into second base, gets the Speedy Bandits left fielder for the first out.
I like it right there. You see a ball up in the strike zone and came out hustling, rounded, and this just shows why Jenkins is number 2 pick in the country. Comes up and fires an absolute rocket to second base and gets a speedy runner by a step and a half. So you've got a chance to see 2 very, very good athletes put on a little bit of a show right there.
8-6 put out. Jenkins to Snyder, and here's Andrew Campbell. Campbell 1 for 3 with a 3-run homer back in the first. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
Crawford's got a little bit of history with the Bandits. Obviously, his brother, long-time Bandits pitcher. Crawford's been in a couple organizations. Canberra, he's been in now with Auckland, and a little bit of time with the Bandits as well.
1-2 the count. Crawford on the year, making his 3rd appearance, a 10.13 ERA in limited time. Another base hit for the Bandits. Campbell will be content this time with a single after seeing the arm of Jenkins.
And that's where the advantage comes from some of the Bandits hitters, and you know, they've long history facing Crawford at different levels, you know, and when we talk about some of the other import players that come in and play in the ABL, they've actually got to make adjustments to new arms. And that's what I always found when I played internationally it's not the actual pitching or not necessarily the talent level that you make the biggest adjustment to. It's a new look, different arms, different pitchers, and making those early adjustments.
TJ Bennett is hitless in 3 trips. He did drive in a run with a fielder's choice back in the second. Takes a healthy swing at the first offering from Crawford and sends it foul to the screen.
Just you and I were briefly looking at some of the big free agents, and there's really 2 names on the market, Harper and Machado, and looks like the Phillies and the Yankees have sights on both.
Fouled at the plate. Yankees, though, signed Troy Tulowitzki, who will still be paid by the Blue Jays in a buyout of his deal, and he will make the major league minimum for the Yankees. That is a bargain pickup for a former All-Star who has had some injury issues. He can be the stopgap solution for Didi Gregorius at short until he returns, and that means there's less of a need for the Yankees to add Machado. 0-2, up and away.
But then we are talking that it's the Yankees.
Yeah, if anyone, well, really all 30 teams have the payroll flexibility at this point to add a big ticket item if they wanted to. half the teams aren't really competing. They're in various stages of a rebuild mode.
Does it surprise you with the Phillies organization being so aggressive with 2 big free agents?
1-2 up and away. I think they see their window opening. Washington Nationals maybe on the downswing if they don't bring Harper back. New York Mets were a pennant winner just a couple years ago, but they've got some big question marks. Marlins are a couple years away. Braves were the team in the NL East this past year, but they're young, and young teams can be volatile.
But that you look, if Atlanta made a big pickup like a Harper and adding to that youth, because talking about Harper still young in his own rights, is he a 10-year guy? Is he a 10-year investment guy?
Well, both Harper and Machado are unique cases on the free agent market because they started their clock so early. Both of them debuted at a very young age, and they are just reaching what should be their primes as they hit the open market. Both have been cast, fairly or unfairly, as immature, with various character issues over the course of the last few years. Harper just a big personality to begin with, but Machado publicly in interviews says that he doesn't hustle out every ground ball. 2-2, may have been close to a strike, but it's missed by Bishop, the catcher, and Campbell will trot down to second. I think that'll be a pass ball.
Yeah, look, and that's what we talk about. See it here right now. Looks like it just crossed him up, and that's being familiar with your arms, and he's probably only caught him once or maybe or twice at the most, and sometimes as a catcher you're still making adjustments to pitchers' release points, their break on their breaking pitches, and even their movement on their fastballs.
3-2 coming to TJ Bennett. Check swing, just missing the zone. And Bennett trots to first, which is refilled now. Runners at first and second with 1 down for Logan Wade.
And it's a really interesting point that you made. It's both athletes came in and they broke in very young in their playing careers, and they're kind of at the apex of their playing careers as veterans. Looks like a pinch runner's coming in for TJ.
There's number 5, Ryoto Kuzomoto, perhaps?
There it is.
Making his Bandits debut.
He's making a debut, so David seen an opportunity to bring that young man into the game. But the last player we saw, I guess, really impact player that came in young, came through the Seattle organization, named Alex Rodriguez, and ended up signing a long-term deal initially with Texas and then eventually going to the Yankees.
Another guy who rubbed some people the wrong way on his way up. And, of course, the PED allegations against Rodriguez, an important part of his past as well. Mound conference here between Crawford and the catcher Bishop. We saw a passed ball a few moments ago.
And I think that's the thing that's so hard in when you're talking elite level sports, when we're talking the currency that's now going across the table to some of these athletes. It's hard when you talk about youth and financial security at an early age, and they're already high testosterone and high confidence levels, how do you manage that? And probably one of the best managers that I've ever seen during that era was Joe Torre when he had the Yankees, and they had that dominant team. He able to manage that ball club so well.
Revenues across Major League Baseball have skyrocketed in the last decade and a half, and while the payrolls have gone up, they haven't gone up proportionally. 2-0 the count. And so I don't think you need to be a big union booster to say that the players deserve the money that they can get on the free agent market, but a lot of teams are deciding. Here's a chopper to first. Zhu goes to second, and the return throw to first is not in time. Wade beats out the fielder's choice. Advancing to third is Campbell. There will be runners at the corners as we take a look at the play made by Zhu.
Yeah, good play there. He's cleared himself to get a good feed to second base. Good hustle, getting down the line to break up the double play and keep the inning alive with men on first and third and 2 outs here in the 6th.
Here's Donald Lutz. To complete the thought, I think most well-intentioned people would say the player should try and earn what he can on the open market, but more and more teams are seeing young players make an impact at the major league level, and they just don't want to make those long-term investments on what will usually be a player's backslide of their career. You look at a contract like Albert Pujols. Pujols will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He already has more than 600 home runs to his name, but the deal that he signed with the Angels was really paying for his production level with the Cardinals.
Correct.
The 0-1. Lutz sends it on the ground towards second. Tanalou fields and throws. Despite a couple singles and a walk, the Bandits do not score in the 6th inning, and we go to the 7th. It's been the same score for a while. Bandits don't mind. They lead it 10-3.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. Get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Kern Cove Brisbane Bandits lead the Auckland Tauatara 10-3 as we go to the top of the 7th inning at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Justin Erasmus pitched a scoreless 6th inning, and he's back out there for the 7th, facing 8-9-1 in the Tauatara lineup. Bandits looking to win their 2nd consecutive ball game here. And we have defensive change. Riley Unruh moves from 2nd to 3rd to fill the spot vacated by TJ Bennett. Bennett was pinch run for by Ryoto Kuzomoto, who takes Unruh's spot at 2nd base. Kuzomoto, making his Bandits and ABL debut, is on the development roster. Here's Zach Clark. Clark hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. He takes ball 1. The 1-0 from Erasmus. Driven deep to center field. Campbell turns around. It is gone. 2nd of the ball game for Zach Clark. 2-run homer in the 2nd and a solo shot here in the 7th. It's now 10-4. I don't know if that's a home run in most ballparks, but it's an extra base hit. The ball was tattooed to straightaway center field.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's had some really good at-bats tonight. You see pitch up in the zone. He didn't miss it at all, and he drove that ball deep to center field. Campbell, I think, is in center, or actually they've swapped. Is that Winton in center now? Turned and see if he could play the ball off the fence, and ball carried out of here. That's his 2nd home run of the night.
That is Bernard in center field. Not sure if that was just a flip-flop, because it looks like Campbell out and left.
And I like that move from David, because Campbell plays a really good left field as well, and all of a sudden now you've got the speedy Bernard in center field, and when you start playing at the bigger ballparks with real estate, particularly you were there at Blacktown, and you've got to cover a lot of ground, and potentially could play to the advantage of the Bandits in just a little bit more speed, and not disrespecting Campbell's speed by any means, but all of a sudden now you've got Wade, Campbell, and Bernard in center field, and that gives you a little bit more dynamic up the middle of the infield and outfield.
2-1, fouled straight back.
That was one thing I noticed Sydney had done over the offseason, really increased their speed in the middle of the diamond in second and short, and then behind the plate with Murphy, the veteran, and then they've got speedy center fielder out of Taiwan. So that spine has really been a real game changer for that organization.
Count is 1-2, and the pitch misses low, now 2-2. Guiyan Shu making his first at bat. And he swings and misses at the Erasmus fastball, 1 down in the 7th inning. Second Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Justin Erasmus.
Speaking of Sydney, we were just speaking about top of the 8th inning. Sydney is down to the Canberra Cavalry, one run to 3 runs in favor of the Canberra Cavalry in the top of the 8th, and in the top of the 9th. It is Adelaide by 13 and Geelong Korea 1.
Eric Jenkins is 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. He takes down and away. And that was a game that Geelong Korea was leading 1-0 going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Adelaide tied it up in the 6th, scored 4 in the 7th and 8 in the 8th. 18 hits for the Bite, who are looking to improve above the 500 mark. They enter 14-14. Right now it's the Bite on the outside looking in the playoff picture. Sydney and Perth have the top 2 spots. Brisbane and Melbourne tied for 3rd. In 5th place, it's Canberra at 15-13. And Adelaide, 14-14, is the next best team. 3-0 the count to Eric Jenkins. There's a strike. Jenkins takes it. Erasmus delivers, Jenkins swings, it's a pop-up behind 3rd. Unrow now over there, and foul territory makes the play for the 2nd out.
You and I were talking about your team, and obviously you support the Minnesota Twins, and they've got a fairly big acquisition in Minnesota this year with a very potent right-handed hitter in Nelson Cruz. Signed a 1-year deal, so that'll be a big impact bat in that lineup.
Most prolific home run hitter in the game the last 4 or 5 years. And he did that in a pitcher-friendly ballpark in Seattle the last few seasons. Getting up there in age, I believe he's going to be 38. But the numbers still look good. First pitch swinging, Taylor Snyder sends it on the ground to short. Wade's throw to first retires the Tauatara shortstop. After this solo home run from Zach Clark, Justin Erasmus gets the next 3 batters, and it is stretch time here in Brisbane. Bandits lead at 10-4 over the Tauatara.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Bandits fans singing along to Sweet Caroline. Bandits are up 10-4 over the Tauatara going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you for Game 2 of Round 8 here at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus. Bandits won last night, on their way to another win tonight. They'll play another night game tomorrow at 6 o'clock local time. Broadcast available here on Bandits.tv. And then a twin bill on Saturday. 2 games on ABL TV if you can't make it. Bottom third of the lineup due up for the Bandits. Dutton, Sutherland, and De La Calle against Nathan Crawford. Crawford allowed a pair of singles and a walk in the 6th inning, but did not allow a run. We like to follow ABL players as they continue their careers elsewhere beyond this season. Mentioned that TJ Bennett signed a minor league deal with the White Sox. Riley Unruh picked up by the Atlanta Braves in the minor league portion of the Rule 5 draft. And a guy who really looked good here in Brisbane in the first round of the season, Marcus Solbach, just signed a deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He has been the best pitcher in the league this year. Fouled off a front foot. Dutton limps out of the box. Wade is 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a sac fly with an RBI.
I think there was a fantastic signing, and he's truly deserved it. He's been outstanding all year. Fastball was electric. Looks like he's got command of his second and third pitches, but he was almost basically unhittable throughout this season. So well earned and deserving opportunity for this young man, and he'll get a chance to hopefully pitch in Dodger blue.
1-1 the count to Wade Dutton. And I say Solbach has been the best pitcher in the league. Shota Imanaga and Canberra Cavalry fans may beg to differ, but between those two, it's a pretty tough contest. Both of them have been outstanding for their respective teams. 2-1 the count. Check swing. Dutton holds up. It's 3-1. Dutton swings and misses, and the count runs full. Three-two misses low. A leadoff walk to Wade Dutton here in the 7th inning. Dan Nielsen will pinch hit for David Sutherland. Nielsen making his first appearance of the series. We saw Mitch Nielsen last night in a pinch hitting role. Sutherland had gone 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run. Nielsen takes up high ball 1. The 1-0. 2-0. Nielsen, 25 years old. Part-time outfielder for the Bandits this season. Drive down the right field line. Will it stay fair? It will. It one hops off the wall. Rounding second. On his way to third is Dutton. He'll be held up. And Dan Nielsen with a pinch hit double puts a pair in scoring position for the Bandits to start the 7th inning.
Watson put the brakes on him right there in that situation. Probably could have scored easily, but probably looked at the situation with 10-4, and you still got the number 9 hitter at the plate with the leadoff batter, so not necessarily to force a close play at home, and allows your number 9 hitter to have an opportunity to drive in another run here in the 7th.
Yeah, still no outs in the inning. That's the 3rd double of the year for Nielsen. Danny De La Calle takes up high ball 1. The Bandits catcher is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Infield playing, we'll call it halfway in. Chop to the left side. It bleeds through for a base hit. Dutton will score. Nielsen will be held. It's an RBI single for Danny De La Calle, and the Bandits lead 11-4.
Once again, good job of hitting by Delicaya, the number 9 hitter for the Bandits, and finds one in that 5-6 hole. And that'll score the 11th run of the game. But I like this approach. It gives the hitters an opportunity. You can't create this in practice, so it gives them a chance to hit the situations and really have a game plan at the plate, and then that just builds confidence and momentum going into the playoff rounds.
Riley Unruh 1 for 2, an RBI double, a pair of walks, and 2 runs scored. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Unruh drives it deep to left center field. It's gone! A 3-run home run for Riley Unruh, his second of the year, and the Bandits go up by double digits, 14-4. Empire Jerky home run for Riley Unruh. And that left-handed swing had enough strength in it to send it out to the opposite field.
You see the pitch right here, down and away, or up and away, excuse me. And we talked about his last at-bat. You mentioned exit velocity and how he shot the ball in left center. I love the way he's staying through the baseball right now. He looks more settled, and even in that situation, first and third, nobody out, another ballpark, let's say, that's still extra base hits, or even if it's caught, it still allows the runner to advance. So another quality at-bat by Unruh, now making it 14-4 here in the 7th inning.
Pitching change for the Tauatara. Back after this on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Alderley hire pitching change for Auckland. Ben Runyon comes on for the second time in as many nights. Nathan Crawford went an inning plus, tap dancing his way out of trouble in the 6th inning, but running into heaps of trouble here in the 7th. 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts. And Runyon with an ERA of 27 in some limited work. Those 2/3 of an inning came last night, so he is making his second appearance of the year. He allowed 2 runs on 2 hits last night. Bases will be empty for Winton Bernard, and the Bandits, just as the Tauatara were getting perhaps within spitting distance, have really opened it up here in the 7th inning.
They really have, and I think the one thing I'm probably more impressed with tonight with the Bandits is their approach at the plate. They've had really good at-bats. They've hit well with runners in scoring position. They've run the bases well, and their manufacturing runs is what you need to do to win in the playoffs. So it's a really positive sign for the organization after really a good road trip in some senses, particularly when you're playing a tough club in Sydney. These guys have rebounded well in the second game of this series.
Runyon got his first career ABL strikeout against Winton Bernard last night, and Bernard will be the first batter he faces here tonight. He delivers inside ball 1. Andrew Campbell and TJ Bennett each collected RBI singles in last night's ball game against Runyon, and he was unable to complete his 8th inning. Here's a deep drive to left field. Clark going back. This ball is gone. Winton Bernard, welcome to Australia. His first career ABL home run makes it 15-4 Bandits. He just got here on Monday. Jet lag has worn off. Suki Bowl replay on the Empire Jerky home run. He jerked that one out of here.
I tell you what, he got ball down the middle of the plate and he shot that ball in the left field. So very strong young man, and great to see him in this lineup. And we talked about again, just a completely different makeup and energy within this Bandits lineup tonight and over the last 2 days.
Andrew Campbell went deep in the first inning as part of what is so far a 2-for-4 night. He's driven in 3, and he has a 2-0 count here against Runyon. And now the rain's starting to fall. Hopefully this is as heavy as it gets. Two-0 to Campbell. Taken for a strike. It's an 11-run lead, and the Bandits can do what they want with their bullpen now, with little fear of this game getting much closer. 3-1 now the count.
Just checking the radar right now. It doesn't look like anything heavy. There's a little bit of work on the radar as I'm seeing. So hopefully this will be just something light that'll pass and just cool the patrons down a little bit on a beautiful night.
5-pitch walk to Campbell, and here is the first career ABL at bat of Ryoto Kuzumoto. Kuzumoto on the development roster for the Bandits. Entered as a pinch runner, and now gets his first turn at bat. Lefty takes low ball 1. TJ Bennett had gone 0 for 3 with a fielder's choice RBI and a walk. The 1-0 pitch, up and in, 2-0.
A great opportunity for this young hitter to come into this situation. That's what's so great about the Australian Baseball League is it's about opportunities. And so you'd have this young man 2 or 3 years ago playing within a club organization with aspirations of playing at higher levels, and now he gets his ABL debut tonight against Auckland Tauatara.
Called strike, but Bishop misses it, and as a result, Campbell will trot down to second. That should be another pass ball, second in the ball game. Now the rain's coming down a little heavier. And I mean instantaneously it got heavy.
Be interesting to see how long Tommy West. Tommy's probably just reading the signs right now. He'll glance over at the crew, and those guys will be getting ready at least to get the mound and home plate areas covered. Those are the clay-based areas that are probably the most critical for footing for the athletes.
3-1 the count, and Runyon wants a new baseball. That's another consideration. The ball gets slippery in conditions like this. Kuzumoto just 18 years old. The 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Chopped up the third base line. Tough play for Runyon. He throws to first, not in time. An infield single for Ryoto Kuzumoto in his first career ABL at bat. And that ball will be taken out of circulation.
A fantastic moment for this young man, and perfect placement, and able to leg that out, and that'll be his first ABL hit, and congratulate him and acknowledge him for the hard work to get here, and for what a great moment for him in a tough situation.
Now Logan Wade. Wade hitless tonight after a 2-homer game last night. He has contributed though. Walk and a run scored. Now the rain really pouring down, and the pitch to the backstop gets a nice hard ricochet. That'll keep Campbell at third, but Kuzumoto will advance to second.
Be interested to see how long Tommy West goes now. It's coming down fairly heavy. It'll be his call, obviously. do see the grounds crew is just right of the first base line, and they're ready to go. At least get tarps down on the, like I said, on the clay areas. And
correct me if I'm wrong, but even though this is an 11-run game, they have to go through about a half-hour delay before they can officially call it. Is that right?
I believe so, but we also have the curfews to contend with as well, but it's only 8:30. So hopefully this shower will pass and it won't play a factor.
Wade takes up and away 2-0. And you can tell Runyon is having a little bit of trouble both with the ball and the surface on the mound. Still no outs here in the 7th inning. 5 runs already in for the Bandits and 2 more in scoring position. 2-0 fouled straight back. This will help the run differential for the Bandits. The season plus minus that can sometimes shed light on a team's overall record. 2-1 the count to Logan Wade. The pitch. Inside 3-1. First base is open. Donald Lutz waits on deck. Bandits have a couple more development players that they could enter into circulation tonight. And for safety's sake, as much as anything else, we may see them used here in the later innings of the game. 3-1, a strike on the outside corner. The count runs full. Bandits have 15 runs on 14 hits. Payoff pitch, lifted in the air, shallow right center field. Right fielder Brown comes in, he makes the catch. Campbell will just bluff a tag and stay at third base. The long-awaited first out of the inning comes off the bat of Logan Wade. Now Donald Lutz will bat. Lutz tonight is 1 for 3 with an RBI single, a walk, and a run scored. Lutz hits a pop-up back our way out of play. Bandits scored 3 runs in the first inning on Andrew Campbell's 3-run home run. That erased an early Auckland 1-0 lead. Tauatara took a brief 3-1 lead after scoring 2 in the top of the second inning on Zach Clark's home run. 0-1 to Lutz. Up and away. It pops out of the mid of Bishop, but the runners stay put. And the Bandits really broke it open with a 7-run second inning. David Sutherland hit a 2-run home run in that one. And you got the starter, Elliot Johnston, out of the ballgame after an inning and 2/3. Yuki Harada held serve, going 3 1/3 hitless in relief of Johnston. Then the Bandits, here in the 7th, have scored 5 more. They lead at 15-4. 1-1, a high fly ball to left. Clark settles underneath it. He makes the catch, and again with an 11-run lead, both runners stay put.
In normal circumstances, probably a closer ball game. I think Campbell definitely challenges the throwing arm in that situation, but up by 9 runs, or excuse me, 10 runs now.
11 runs.
11 runs now. Not looking like you want to put any extra pressure on your base runners and force an injury or anything like that.
Bandits bat around for the second time in this ball game. They did so in the second, and they do so here in the 7th. Wade Dutton began the inning with a walk. In total, he's 1 for 2 tonight. Swing and a miss. The 0-1. Taken low. 1-1. Travis Blackley scheduled to start tomorrow, though that's always subject to change. 1-1 lifted in the air, behind third. Shortstop out, and he makes the catch. That's Snyder falling down for the third out. Bandits add 5 more here in the 7th inning, and we go to the 8th. It's 15-4 Brisbane on Bandits.tv.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Bandits lead the Tauatara 15-4 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you, trying to waterproof our equipment here, but the rain has mostly stopped. It came down pretty hard for about 5 good minutes in the bottom of the 7th inning. Looks like we're in the clear for now, and Justin Erasmus trying to perhaps go the distance and pick up the unconventional 4-inning save. There is a defensive change for the Bandits. Brandon Bedouin, another development player, enters at third base for Riley Unroe. Unroe batted in the leadoff spot. That is presumably where Bedouin will bat, due up third in the bottom of the 8th inning. Three, 4, and 5 due up for the Tauatara. Nick Tanalou is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. He leads it off and takes a called strike at the knees. Two innings so far for Justin Erasmus. 0-1 up and away for a ball. Erasmus has walked a batter and allowed a solo home run to Zach Clark. Clark has been the most productive batter in the Tauatara lineup by far. A pair of home runs and 3 runs batted in. Lifted foul, the count is 1-2. Rain starting up again. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Erasmus picks up his 3rd Skyfleet Hino strikeout, 4th of the ball game for the Bandits pitching staff, and 1 up, 1 down in the 8th.
Once again, the rain seems to come back in, and just a light drizzle, and hopefully the Bandits can minimize the offense in as far as hopefully get out and get up to the plate and finish this game on time.
Chris Richards is 0 for 3. Bounced in the dirt. The count is 1-1. Erasmus set. The 1-1. Missing low. 2-1. Geelong Korea came back in the top of the 9th inning, but it wasn't nearly enough. They fall 13-7 to the Bite in Adelaide. Here's a hot smash to third. Bedouin with a nice pickup. Knows he has plenty of time, and he throws on to first to retire Richards for the 2nd out of the 8th inning.
I'll tell you, really good play by Bedouin right there. He comes in off the bench, and that ball was hit hard and had a little, it got caught up in his web of his glove, but it didn't lose his composure for a young player, and comes up and makes a good throw to Wade Dutton, who's now playing first base for out number 2.
That means that we have a new right fielder. That may be Logan Wade out in... No. Let's see.
Is it Dan? I know Dan Nielsen came into the ball game, so potentially is that Dan? And it's hard to see today.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's the move. Swing and a miss. The count is 1-1. So Dutton moves from right field to first base. Nielsen, who had pinch hit for the first baseman David Sutherland, stays in the ballgame in right. Easy enough, right?
Easy enough.
No one tells us anything. 1-1 misses up and away.
And don't count on my eyes. I can't see past this monitor here.
We'll blame it on the rain, right? 2-1. Swing and a miss. Lamb Hunt is 0 for 3 tonight. 3 grounders to the left side of the infield. One of them was a double play.
I tell you, with the exception of the defense today, the Bandits have played outstanding baseball. Good offensively, manufacturing runs and hitting to situations. And the pitching's done an outstanding job tonight.
2-2 lifted in the air down the right field line. Hit pretty well. Nielsen has a long run, and he tracks it down. A 1-2-3, top of the 8th inning for Justin Erasmus. Bandits have a comfortable 15-4 lead over Auckland as we go to the bottom half of the inning.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you,
Archer! Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
There's the Outlaws cam, partially obstructed by an umbrella. We can't blame them. We thank them for sticking around. It's been a nice night for the Bandits. They lead 15-4 over the Auckland Tauatara, looking for their second straight victory here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. 8-9-1 due up for the Bandits. Dan Nielsen entered as a pinch hitter last inning, doubled and scored, and he gets another crack at it here in the 8th. Ben Runyon still on the mound for the Tauatara. He delivers a called strike with a fastball on the outside corner. Runyon was rudely greeted by a solo homer off the bat of Winton Bernard, but after that, a walk, a single, and 3 outs. One of the 15 runs is his, as he delivers a called strike 0-2.
There's a little bit of action in the Bandits bullpen. Looks like Watson maybe actually rolling it over, and he might get an inning in to try to wrap this thing up.
That'd be a nice place to get him in. Another young guy. 0-2, 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Nielsen down on strikes for out number 1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. First strikeout for Runyon, and that'll bring up Danny De La Calle. Suki Bowl replay here. Nice pitch. I don't know if it had a whole lot of bend to it, but it fooled Nielsen.
Yeah, just late action on it, and he's a big righty. He's about 6'7", He can get up there low to mid 90s, so anything with a little bit of late movement with 2 strikes always tough to catch up with when you got to protect the plate.
Danny De La Calle is 2 for 4 with a pair of singles and an RBI. Foul tips the first pitch into the mitt of the catcher Bishop, strike 1. Bounced, and it is 1-1. Hit hard but foul down the third base line. 1-2. The Bandits have 15 runs on 14 hits. That's enough to paper over a 4-error game in the field. The 1-2. Fouled back. 4 runs on just 5 hits for the Tauatara. Coco Lynn got the first 5 for the Bandits, allowing 3 runs, 2 earned on 4 hits. He's in line for his second win of the season. In some order, we expect it to be Blackley, Atherton, and Simpler. They may have Simpler go the 7-inning game on Saturday and leave Atherton or Blackley the 9-inning game, but that's up to David Nielsen. Good to have options for the Bandits. There's a high and tight fastball that ties up De La Calle. Back-to-back strikeouts for Runyon. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th.
It was always going to be a challenge with a tough road trip. There's a pitch in the location, good elevated fastball, and De La Calle wasn't able to come up with it for out number 2. But it was always going to be a tough road trip with really the 1 or the 2 recovery days after the Sydney series. And I know the temperatures are fairly hot in Sydney, so the guys would have endured a lot with the travels and the heat. But they've done a fantastic job of rebounding, and they're in the second game. And offensively, the organization or David wouldn't be prouder of these guys. They've put up some big numbers and really brought this offense back to life.
Brandon Bedouin takes his first turn at bat. He entered as a defensive replacement an inning ago, and he's ahead in the count, 2-0.
Bedouin was in that Japanese friendly that we played against Aichi and Kyoko, and pitched really well. Did a little bit of everything. He did a little bit of pitching, played a bit of second base, played a little bit of shortstop, swung the bat well. So it's always good to see when these young men get a chance to compete at the highest level, and then they'll go back and represent their state at nationals in January. So great experience for these young men and these players in their playing career.
3-0 now the count with Winton Bernard waiting on deck. Bedouin takes inside, almost hits him. Whether it did or didn't, the result is the same. He trots down to first. It'll be a free pass with 2 down. That'll bring in Winton Bernard. And Bernard has not lost a step. He has jumped right into this lineup and contributed right away. Tonight, 3 hits, including his first ABL home run his last time up. He's already got the Bandits arm sleeve on, too. Someone gave that to him right away. Breaking pitch for a called strike begins the at-bat. Bernard was the first batter that Runyon faced in the 7th inning, coming on in relief of Nathan Crawford. And Bernard hit a high, deep drive to left center field that snuck over the fence for a home run. Down and away, 1-1 the count. 4 homers in total for the Bandits tonight. Campbell with his 6th, Sutherland with his 5th, Unruh with his 2nd, and Bernard with his 1st. Zach Clark hit 2, bringing his total to 3 on the year for the Tauatara. 1-1 misses inside. With a win tonight, the Bandits will, at least temporarily, move into sole possession of third place overall in the ABL, comfortably in second in their division. 2-1. Big swing from Bernard. He sends it straight back.
I said that early in game one when we get a chance to see him, and when he does get himself into hitting count, he doesn't get cheated, and that's what you want to see from your hitters, particularly when they're just trying to get their timing and adjusting at the plate. But he's looked very comfortable since he's put on that uniform.
Bernard hits it fair down the third base line, rolling into the corner. Rounding second to third is Bedouin. He will be held with an 11-run lead. It's a double for Bernard, a 4-hit night, and he will finish likely a triple shy of the cycle. What a great addition he could be to this roster.
No, we talked about a couple years back, Rodriguez from Tampa came on board, and he basically became the igniter for the Bandits and helped them win their second title. And be interesting to see if Winton is that guy. Is he the igniter that to get this offensive firing as it's capable of doing?
Andrew Campbell steps in, swings and misses at the first offering. Before they go to bed in Las Vegas, we want to wish a friendly greeting to Josh, Tegan, and Rob from the Hailstorm crew, watching us stateside, and we can't wait for them to get back. The 0-1, missing outside.
I can't wait for Josh to get back as well. He got to meet Pete Rose in Vegas, and I got a chance to play with Pete Rose Jr., and he even referred to his father when he called him as the Hit King. So he called his dad and said, "Hey, Hit King, it's young Pete." So that's respect.
That's something.
That's respect.
1-2 the count to Campbell. Campbell 2 for 4 with a 3-run homer. 1-2. Down and away.
We did mention the time in Vegas, but I think it's the city doesn't sleep, so he's probably getting ready for breakfast.
Of all the things to do, he's watching us. Thanks, Josh. 2-2. Lifted in the air, foul territory, first base side. Zhu is over, and he overruns it. That was way up there. And new life for Andrew Campbell. Outlaws having fun again tonight. Why not? Bandits are up 15-4.
I think the Tauatara probably wish they didn't come in. They weren't here yesterday. Obviously, it was another event, or they didn't have it penciled in their calendar, but they are part of the fan entertainment here at One Up Stadium.
2-2 to the backstop. Short backstop, 11-run lead, and for I think the third or fourth time in the late innings here, the Bandits stay put when they could try and score another run. Bedouin at third after a walk, Bernard at second after a double.
Trying to look yesterday after the game.
3-2 to Campbell. Lifted foul.
Soupy was awarded, I believe, Logan Wade was awarded the Archer Brewery Player of the Game, and I think you're granted a slab of beer.
Yeah.
Archer Brewery.
When am I going to win the Player of the Game?
Well, Winton actually walked by Koshi and said, "I'm winning that tomorrow." So I think he's
swing and a miss from Campbell, and that ends the 8th inning.
He's actually making his bid for it.
Winton Bernard has a 4-hit game in his second game as a Bandit. 3 more outs to get for Brisbane. They lead it 15-4.
out there chanting.
How good is this?
The Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits lead it by 11 over the Auckland Tauatara. And it will be the 19-year-old Matt Watson on to get the final 3 outs, trying to give the Bandits a 2-0 series edge. Watson has an ERA of 0, made his debut in Melbourne on the road a couple weeks ago. He did allow 2 unearned runs, and it'll be a story that he can laugh about and tell his grandkids someday. After collecting his first ABL strikeout, he got the ball back and immediately threw it into the dugout, but he didn't call time, so both runners advanced and 2 runners ended up scoring. Luckily, the Bandits were up big, and here he is in front of his home crowd for the first time in a Bandits uniform. A lot of potential in this young man, otherwise he wouldn't be here. 2 walks and a strikeout in his debut against the Aces. Shook off some early nerves and pitched quite well, all things considered.
Yeah, a big, strong right-handed pitcher, a young arm, and got a lot of life in his fastball. And like I said, this young man's got a big future ahead of him, and big, strong righty, and really competes on the bump. So great to see him out here tonight.
He will face 6, 7, and 8 in the Tauatara lineup, beginning with Max Brown. Brown 0 for 2. He reached on an error and scored in the second. And he swings and misses at the first offering. Justin Erasmus went 3 innings, allowing 1 run on 1 hit. It was a solo homer off the bat of Zach Clark. He walked 1 and struck out 3. Called strike. I beg your pardon. Just missing low. Looked good from up here. 1-1.
What actually worked out really well, I was out here after the Queensland versus Japan series, and he was actually working with a couple kids privately, just doing some lessons and rolling it over, and we actually asked him if he would roll it over for a couple of games. So it actually worked out well. While the team was on the road, he still got some inning work in. Probably hopefully helped him just make early adjustments on the bump tonight.
The fact that he was entrusted with the opportunity to go on the road in Melbourne, I think speaks highly of his potential. Breaking pitch gets a swing and a miss, and there is a strikeout, the second in his ABL career. Sky Filipino striking.
I'll tell you what, that's a really good pitch right there, and that's really the difference, and we get a chance to see it. I look at more how late the action of that breaking ball is, so it's got a lot of late action, so it's not picked up early by a hitter.
It's tight.
It's really tight, and for a young man, and if he can learn to command that secondary pitch with his live fastball, he's going to be a force out of the pen.
Luke Hansen bats for Bo Bishop. 0-1 the count.
And he's still a young man. He's actually enrolled in the Army, and so that was his journey that he wanted to take, but he's still able to play the game that he loves, and it's great to see him out here competing.
0-1, down and away. Hansen, 24 years old, batting .186, 8 hits and 43 at-bats for the Tauatara. He got the start at third base last night and went 0 for 4.
Ooh, good pitch.
Very close, and it's 1-1. 0 for 3 actually last night for Hansen. He was pinch hit for in the 9th inning. 3-1 the count. Watson set at the belt. The 3-1. Driven in the air, deep to right center field. Nielsen is over, and he hauls it in for the second out. Tauatara down to their last out.
Good pitch right there. He got himself in a hitting count, and he did get the fly ball. Good job by Nielsen to run that out, run that down for out number 2. But I guess what he's going to learn, he's not going to always have to overpower and punch everybody out. He can continue to find his location and work ahead in the count. He'll have a successful career.
Last chance for Auckland is Zach Clark, who has a 2-home run game, and you can bet down 11 he'll be swinging for the fences, trying to get that third one up on the board.
You've got nothing to lose. You're down 15-4, so you might as well go ahead and drop the back shoulder and see how much launch angle you can get on this.
Got a 19-year-old on the mound. Called strike, and now it's final strike time. Watson set, the 0-2, down and away. Bandits are all out of the dugout, waiting to do the handshake line after a resounding victory. The 1-2. Breaking pitch, cold strike 3. Watson finishes off a 15-4 Bandits victory over the Tauatara. The Bandits bat around twice, and they score 15 runs en route to their second consecutive victory. There are the totals on the board. 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Tauatara. 15 runs on 15 hits for the Bandits, overcoming 4 defensive mistakes. Paul Gonzalez, the Bandits exposed the Tauatara inexperience in both of these ball games, especially so tonight, knocking out the starter early.
No, they did. I think the thing that was most impressive to me is that good situational hitting. They hit well. They used the whole field. It wasn't all done on the long ball. They manufactured runs when they needed to. And the only letdown, the only blemish of the night was their defense. But pitching kept them in it by inducing ground balls and keeping out of big innings with some big double plays.
Coco Lynn gets the win for 5 innings. He improves to 2-1. The loss goes to Elliott Johnston. There was no save. The Bandits will look to clinch the series victory tomorrow night as they continue round 8 against the Tauatara here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. It will be a 6 o'clock first pitch local time, and you can join us here again on Bandits.tv for the full video broadcast. For the Hailstorm crew and my broadcast partner Paul Gonzalez, this is Eric Bramer signing off. Your final score, the Bandits 15, the Tauatara 4. Thanks for watching, and catch us tomorrow night.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.